Hey everyone, and welcome! Today, we're diving into the secret world of a creature you've probably seen a dozen times, the common hedgehog. But you might be surprised to learn they're hiding some pretty wild secrets and even a few mysteries that science still hasn't solved. So let's get right into it.
So really, how well do you think you know them? Yeah, we see them shuffling around our gardens, this little ball of spikes, but what's really going on under that famous coat of armor? I think you're going to be surprised.
Okay, let's kick things off with the most obvious thing about them, their spines. I mean, it's their calling card, right? Their whole defense system. But there's so much more to them than just being sharp, and they hold a pretty big secret that scientists still can't explain.
So how many spines are we talking about? Well, get a load of this number. The average adult hedgehog is covered in somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 of these incredible spines. That is like a dense, personal forest of armor.
And believe it or not, they're made of the exact same stuff as our own hair, keratin. But that's where the similarity ends. The structure is totally different. Your hair is soft and flexible, right? Well, a hedgehog spine is hollow, but it's also incredibly dense and strong. Perfect for a lightweight but really tough defense.
Okay, but this is where things get, well, kind of weird. If you shine an ultraviolet light, a black light, on a hedgehog, its spines actually glow. It's this incredible phenomenon, but it brings up one giant question. Why? Why do they do that?
And the answer is, we have absolutely no idea. No, really, it's a genuine scientific mystery. People have theories, sure, but as of right now, nobody has figured out the real purpose of their glowing quills. How amazing is that? Okay, from one mystery to a common myth.
I think a lot of us picture hedgehogs as these slow, kind of clumsy little creatures just ambling around. But that picture, it couldn't be more wrong. In reality, these guys are surprisingly powerful, and they are total athletes.
For one thing, just think about how far they travel. In just a single night of looking for food, a hedgehog can cover up to 2 miles. That is a massive distance for such a small animal.
And if you're trying to wrap your head around that, check this out. For a hedgehog, traveling 2 miles is like a human jogging 14 miles every single night, all just to find dinner. Doesn't seem so slow now, does it?
And it's not just about endurance. They're sprinters too. When they really need to book it, a hedgehog can hit speeds of over 5 miles per hour. For their size, that is seriously fast. So how on earth do they navigate these nightly marathons?
Well, one thing's for sure, it is not with their eyes. Hedgehogs actually have pretty poor eyesight. Instead, they navigate their entire world using sound and smell in a way that is almost impossible for us to even imagine.
So yeah, their whole world is basically built on sound and smell. While their sight isn't great, their hearing and their sense of smell are just off the charts phenomenal. They can even hear in the ultrasonic range, which is way, way beyond what human ears can pick up.
Just think about that for a second. Their hearing is so sharp, so dialed in, that they can actually hear a worm wriggling around under the dirt, or an insect crawling under a pile of leaves. It's a genuine sensory superpower.
So, on top of being these incredible athletes with superpowers, hedgehogs also have some really strange behaviors and abilities. And yep, you guessed it, some of them are another total mystery.
So hedgehogs are one of the UK's few true hibernators, and what their bodies do to survive is just incredible. Just look at these numbers. Their heart rate plummets from about 190 beats per minute all the way down to less than 20. And their body temperature, it drops from a toasty 35 degrees Celsius to under 5. It's basically a state of suspended animation.
And if you thought that was wild, get ready for this. It's a behavior called self-anointing, and it is honestly one of the weirdest things you'll ever see an animal do. When a hedgehog finds a new or a really strong smell, it'll start licking it and chewing it until its mouth is full of this foamy spit, and then it twists its body into crazy positions to spread that foam all over its spines. And why? Well, theories range from hiding their own scent to maybe spreading poison, but once again, nobody really knows for sure.
So we've got this mysterious, athletic creature with super senses. So what's life actually like for them? Well, the answer is that it's often surprisingly short, and it kind of breaks a big rule you see elsewhere in the animal kingdom.
And here's something that's pretty unusual for mammals. Usually females live longer, but with hedgehogs, it's the males that have a higher average lifespan. It is a really tough life out there. The average hedgehog only makes it for about 2 years.
But, and this is a big but, If they can just make it past those first couple of tough years, they have the potential to live for a really, really long time. The oldest wild hedgehog ever recorded lived to be 16 years old. 16! It just shows you what's possible when the conditions are right.
But sadly, finding those right conditions is getting tougher and tougher. And this last part of our hedgehog story is a really concerning one. And it's a story that's best told with numbers. And this number right here is pretty shocking. Over just the past 25 years, the UK hedgehog population is estimated to have dropped by around 35%. That is a huge, devastating decline for such a well-loved animal.
So what's going on? Well, the main reasons are, sadly, us. It comes down to things like starvation because there are fewer insects, getting hit by cars, and just general habitat loss. And what's really telling is that this is happening even in areas without their main natural predator, the badger, so we know this is a much bigger problem.
And that really brings us to our final question. We've seen that this is a creature that's a nocturnal athlete, a sensory marvel, a keeper of scientific secrets, but we've also seen just how fragile its existence is becoming. So after everything we now know, what does the future actually hold for this incredible secret keeper of our gardens? And what part are we going to play in its story?